David had always been a workaholic. His dedication to his job often led him to stay late at the office, working into the wee hours of the morning. The near-empty office building was his nightly sanctuary, where he could immerse himself in his work undisturbed. But one fateful night, David's late-night routine would turn into a chilling nightmare. It was well past midnight when David finally decided to call it a night. He had been hunched over his desk for hours, staring at his computer screen. He stretched his tired limbs, feeling the weariness in his bones. As he shut down his computer, he couldn't help but glance out of the office window. The city outside was quiet, shrouded in darkness, and the streets were eerily empty. The office building was an old 12-story structure with creaky elevators that had seen better days. David headed for the elevator bank, half hoping that he would get home quickly. As he pressed the button, he noticed the overhead lights flickering, casting unsettling shadows on the walls. He chalked it up to the building's age. But a growing unease gnawed at him. The elevator arrived with a groan, and David stepped inside. He pressed the button for the ground floor, but the elevator didn't move. He pressed it again, but the doors refused to close. Panic welled up within him as he jabbed at the button repeatedly. Just when he was about to give up and take the stairs, the doors finally shut with an ominous, slow creak. As the elevator descended, it stopped on the 6th floor. David tensed up, as he was the only one left in the office, or so he thought. The doors opened, revealing a pitch-black hallway. He peered out, straining to see if anyone was there, but all he could make out were flickering overhead lights, casting eerie shadows on the walls. His heart raced as he debated whether to venture out or stay in the elevator. A voice, soft and haunting, echoed from the darkness. "David!" He froze, unable to discern where the voice had come from. It sounded faint, as though carried on a ghostly breeze. His name lingered in the air, a spectral whisper. He knew he was alone, but the voice sent shivers down his spine. "Who's there?" he stammered, his voice shaky. The voice didn't reply, but the elevator doors suddenly closed and it continued its descent. David was trapped, helpless to do anything but descend further into the unknown. The elevator stopped on the 3rd floor, and this time, the doors opened to a corridor bathed in an eerie, greenish light. A figure stood at the end of the hallway. It was a woman, her back to him, her hair long and jet black. She was wearing a tattered white gown that seemed to flow like a spectral mist. Her head hung low, obscuring her face. David's heart raced, and he took a step out of the elevator. "Who are you?" he managed to croak. The woman didn't respond. Instead, she began to sway back and forth, her hair parting to reveal a grotesque skeletal face with empty eye sockets. A bone-chilling wail filled the air, and the figure began to glide toward David. He stumbled back into the elevator, frantically pressing the button to close the doors. They slammed shut just in time, and the elevator continued its descent. The voice returned, louder this time, as if it was right beside him. "David, you can't escape!" Sweat dripped from his forehead as the elevator reached the ground floor. As the doors opened, he bolted out and ran through the empty lobby, not looking back. He burst through the building's front doors and into the desolate city streets. His breaths came in ragged gasps as he made his way to the nearest bus stop. He waited, glancing over his shoulder every few seconds. The bus finally arrived, and he boarded it, taking one last look at the dark office building before it disappeared behind him. As the bus pulled away, David realized he would never stay late at the office again. He had come face to face with something beyond his comprehension, something lurking in the shadows of the night, waiting for the unsuspecting souls who dared to work past midnight. The memory of that chilling encounter would haunt him for the rest of his days, a reminder that some things are best left in the dark, where they belong.
If you enjoyed this video, please help us by subscribing to our channel. Leave a comment and click the like button. We appreciate each one of you.